I can't believe I'm in the driver's seat of a motorhome here in Portugal. Let's go, let the craziness begin.
And the first place we're going with the motorhome isn't going to be a tourist spot. We're going to
Ikea to buy some pillows, some things we need because we don't have anything, right? We didn't rent them here with the motorhome. Viajo porque preciso will explain to you why. So let's go to Ikea.
buy a few things. So, guys, when you rent a motorhome, both here in Europe and in the United States, you have the option to rent the items as well, right? Like kitchen items, bedding, and bath towels, but all of that adds up to the cost. Yeah, when you're coming just for tourism and you're going back to Brazil, it's very likely that it's worth it to rent these items together. Right, yeah, but in our case, since we're going to stay here, we did some calculations here with these 59 euros for the kitchen kit and another 59 euros for the bath kit. We could invest that amount by already buying some things we're going to need, right? Like pots and pillows, since we're going to stay here in Portugal. So it really ends up being worth it for us to buy, and that's what we're going to do now.
We're passing through a residential neighborhood here in Lisbon.
The Funchal neighborhood. Let there be music.
It would even fit, but there's no parking spot. Look, because I can't park here in front, see? There are these barriers here to keep trucks out, but our car is 3 meters and 10 centimeters tall. Because França wanted it big.
Look, it's not that big, but it's the size of the motorhome I want to buy, like that model over there, because another baby is coming, right, guys? It's not just the 3 of us anymore, now there are 4 of us, so we have to think about the space already.
Music. If you don't know Ikea is a store like this one. Look, everything is on display, it's crazy. They have it in Europe, in the United States, in many countries, and then you just look around and choose. Viajo porque preciso is already a partner, it is.
Music, this store is really big, guys.
It's really big and it's really crowded, but let's go, it's going to be another walk of the day. Music. Look, create your own living room for 365 euros. Look, you come here and buy everything that's here. The decorating idea is already there. I think the concept of this store is really cool. Look at this nice kitchen and living room. Music. Here, a sewing room. Music. An office. 799 3-seat sofa.
Music. And here is the pillow on the bed. Look, we tried it out and it's here for sale.
And then we got 4 pieces, 8.50 each.
Music. It seems to be good, but there are others here for 30, 40, and 45 euros, so there are different prices, right?
Look, our cart is taking shape, see? It already has cutlery, a pillow, a pot, a frying pan, and utensils. We're deciding which one of the 2 we're going to get. What are we missing, honey? Dish towel?
Yeah, and the blanket, right?
That's true, I don't think so. You didn't mention it, right?
The blanket. Not yet, but we have to find something, otherwise we're going to be cold.
This is really crazy, look, because this is the warehouse and you also walk through it. So you choose a kitchen over there, then you get the code, come here, pick up the box, and take it away. You assemble it at home and figure out how to carry and put it together. Look how crazy that is.
That's why many people choose to buy online, I think, because then you get it delivered at home, and from what I saw, there are some instructions. Buy online and get it delivered to your home.
There must be, but is it the same price?
There must be a shipping fee, right?
There must be a shipping fee, right?
But how do you put a kitchen inside a car, right?
It's hard. It's already getting dark. Look, we arrived to pick up the motorhome at 2 in the afternoon. And look, it's already getting dark by the time we finished buying everything. It's a lot of work. It's basically like setting up a kitchen. Now, Francie went to the market here, which is right here in the Ikea parking lot.
Music, and it already makes me want to ask if we can sleep here because I don't know where we're going from here. And we still have to organize everything in here. It's a real mess.
Music. This is what our little house looks like inside. I'll give you a better look. But look, it's a mess. Our stuff is still around here. The suitcases are here. There are the little things we bought. We need to put them away. I've already put away the silverware, the pots, everything. Layla is there, upset because she stayed inside the motorhome. Francie went shopping, then they'll organize everything. And it's already getting dark.
We found a place to park for the night. It's not free. It's 10 euros a night, music. But we're still getting used to things here in the motorhome. Everything's new to us. Music.
Actually, it's not that everything is new, right? We're just in a different place. We only got ready at night. It's hard to find a place at night. Music, yeah, but I think it's gonna be here anyway.
Music. Hey, dude, did we manage to get set up for the night?
Só se ajeitar, né?
Amanhã a gente arruma as coisas.
Yeah, we'll show you guys tomorrow because we couldn't do it now. It's already, let me see what time it is. 8:20.
We're already pretty tired, but we managed to buy everything. Look, this comforter here is ours, the top sheet is ours, the pillows are ours. We managed to set things up so we can sleep, but we haven't unpacked the suitcases yet, and now I'm just going to take a shower and rest. Tomorrow, we'll show you the motorhome properly.
And I'm already lying down here. We're really tired. Oh my God, we're not used to this anymore. And it's not just that we're not used to it. I think we also get tired easily because I get tired easily because of the pregnancy too, right? Whether I want to or not, I have some extra weight I'm carrying here. And so far, I think I've already gained about 9 kilograms, and that does weigh on you. We think it doesn't, but it does. I think it was 9 kilograms that I gained, right, honey?
You didn't get fat by 9. 9 kilograms you gained 9. 9 kilograms because getting fat is different. Getting fat means you put on weight. And Francie? Honestly, yes, I see that she didn't get fat like that. Her face didn't change. Everything is going really well. 9 kilograms, but there are still a few.
2.5 months to go.
3 months, about 3 months, so it's within what's expected.
Viajo porque preciso.
And Francie?
And viajo porque preciso.
And viajo porque preciso. After our morning coffee, let's talk a little about this motorhome we're in here. We're still here in the parking lot where we spent the night. I look a bit sleepy because we didn't know. There was a party around here, there's a restaurant here, and there was a little party in the middle of the night. It went on until about 2 in the morning, so we couldn't sleep very well. And as soon as I got the motorhome, I noticed that we're really well equipped with tires. Yes, Continental Van Contact tires. Actually, this one is a special series, see? Van Camper, Vanco Camper. But we know the safety and comfort that a set of tires like these gave us, which took us all the way to Alaska. We traveled no less than 80,000 kilometers across the Americas, so now in Europe we're going with Continental as well. The tire is a little dirty because the car comes a little dirty on the outside, just a little dirty. They don't care much about the outside being clean, but they do care about the inside, so the car arrives a little dirty on the outside. And this is the motorhome, folks. Yeah, it's a Fiat Ducato.
I don't know the year because I haven't even looked at the documents yet.
This is the Nomad model from Indie Campers. It has everything a motorhome requires, right? Here is the water tank and so on. It has really big windows. The bathroom is in the back. So here I take out the cassette, right? It's a motorhome with a cassette toilet. It's pretty big. It's 7 meters long, but it has a little trunk that's much wider, right?
Yeah, compared to our van, it's much bigger, a bit more complicated to drive, but anyway, so far everything is going well.
It also has a really nice trunk back here. That's why we chose this model, because we have a lot of suitcases, right? Since we moved, right? So here there's a really big trunk. There's already one suitcase in there, but I'm gonna put the others in. Let me see if there's a light here. Here, there's a light here. Look how cool that is. There's a small ladder to climb to the other bed, which I'll show you later. Here's where the gas cylinder is kept. Here's the Dometic heater, it heats up. This one is the space heater, right? The water heater is inside the seat over there. And I just wanted to show you its brand. It's a Ducato with single rear wheels. I'll film from farther away so you can see how big it is. It's really huge. Look, from the axle back there's about 2 meters, so it's really big. It struggles a lot to go up the hills because I think it's really heavy. There are some unique details, like this huge skylight here in the front. And here's the brand. Look! Look, Weinsberg. Classy, right? That's it, guys, but the most interesting part is inside. So let's start with the interior. This is a Ducato, right, guys? It's a Ducato like we have in Brazil. I saw that there's a button to answer the phone here on the steering wheel. What does it have? It has air conditioning, it has a radio. What I liked is that it has hill start assist, so you release the brake and it gives you a second before you pull away. That helps a lot since this car is really heavy, I've already noticed.
And here are these really cool blinds, look.
You close the car, move it over, and there's also one on the small window. It's cool, but I thought it was fragile. You need to open it carefully.
It seems to be made of paper.
So you have to be really careful, otherwise it will tear. I prefer Arpini's blackout covers, okay guys? Without a doubt, because they are thermal and acoustic insulators. This here is just paper.
It doesn't really protect anything.
It only protects from light, right? And another thing, it also rattles. Look, it's just something fitted on top here so it makes noise. For those who don't like noise, like me, I didn't like it. Up here there's a lot of storage space. Look, there's a backpack here, and here there are plenty of compartments. That's where our drone is. We've already started putting things in place. What I thought was really cool was this. What do you call this here, honey?
Of course not. It's a skylight, right?
Skylight, that's the word?
Skylight, really cool.
Look, now it started raining, so we can't... I'm not going to open it, but it has this opening here, and you can still open the roof and get spectacular lighting.
It's almost a sunroof, right? Yeah, a sunroof.
It's really big. Look, it's over 60 cm. It's about 90 cm easily. Both seats swivel, right guys, so they turn this way. Here there's a really big dinette. This seat is really big. We had breakfast here this morning, both of us sitting here. This one also turns into a bed, and there are more seats here. As you can see, there are a lot of windows, really a lot of windows, and you can see it's low here, right? But I'm going to tell you why this part is low. Cabinet, lots of lights down here. Look, the hot water boiler is down here. I'm not going to open it to show you because that's not really important. So this is a little secret of this vehicle, and 5 people can sleep in this vehicle. Franz and I sleep in that bed, which we'll show you soon. Here you can make another bed for one person, and here there's another bed for two people.
Are you going to what?
Baixar?
It's just that it's really high and there's another skylight here. Look, where do you think you turn on this light from?
I wondered how the person sleeping down here does it, but it's just like a bunk bed.
Right? Yeah, it's actually pretty spacious down here, you see? There's more space below than above. And there's a ladder in the trunk, so for anyone staying up here, there's a little ladder. Since we won't use it, I left the ladder in the trunk to keep it out of the way.
But if you're coming with a bigger family, right?
You can do it, you can sleep here. For those coming with kids and all. We have a child, but he's still well settled here in France's belly. He's here.
Guys, look at the size of this here.
Here's the kitchen. There's also a window in front of the kitchen. It's very bright. And up here there are more cabinets than França. We stored the food and some cups. The stove has 3 burners. I'm standing here because Layla is sleeping right down here underneath.
Let's not disturb Layla's nap.
Let's not disturb Layla's nap. The little stove has 3 burners.
It's not very nice.
She doesn't like this kind of thing.
It's very cramped. I prefer the one we had before, the one with 2 burners but with more space. The sink is also really small. As you can see,
There's no place here to cut the food.
there's just a little space missing right here in the front.
There could be something here to pull.
I don't know.
Something different.
These drawers are really nice. They're huge. Look how much stuff fits in here. Really big, really good. And here, that noise is the skylight that's open. It's really windy. I have to close it. Honey, it's raining. This is a manual skylight. I had to run and close it because it's raining. So this is our bed. It was nice sleeping here, honey.
The one in our motorhome was much better.
Yeah, it's a little small. If it were just for me and Francie, it would have been fine, but Layla had to come here because it was cold. She didn't sleep on the floor, so it got a little cramped on the floor.
What we mean is in her little bed.
In her little bed on the floor, of course, and here too, but it's a bit more cramped, right? So here, look, there are a lot of cabinets, our clothes are here.
We just put them right there.
And there are a lot of cabinets here, a lot of natural light. If you want, the bed is good, but for 3 people or 2 people and a little dog, it doesn't work. Here's a refrigerator that so far hasn't wanted to start working. We don't really understand why. It's in automatic mode here. It works on battery, gas, electricity, and 220 volts.
But it's not working.
It's on 220 volt power. But it's not cooling.
I think we're going to have to call for support, okay?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any other button we need to press here, but this is where we turned it on, and it's Dometic.
Right.
Yeah, can it work now? Up here, there are more cabinets too, and here there's a little latch so it doesn't open. Up here, there are more cabinets too.
Here, turn on the part where I see the water. The water is at 100.
How many liters of water?
The water is at 75. This one is dirty water, but it's not working because it's saying it's full. And here, the battery is at 12.5 and the house battery is at 12.7. No, the house is at 12.5 and the car is at 12.7. It's cool. This little control here also turns on the water pump. Just press here. It turns on the water pump. And here you turn on the heater and the boiler. Both turn on here. Look, it started to blink. The darn fridge. What's missing? There's a huge cabinet here too. Very big. There must be a light there, right?
There isn't. There is a light.
But it's not working. Most of our clothes fit in here. And here's the bathroom. The bathroom is big, but it's not very functional. Here's the sink. The sink is nice, and the sink and the mirror work really well. The cassette toilet is also very good, but I found the shower stall really small. It's hard to take a shower in there, you can't move around very well. France, with her big belly, has an even harder time, although mine isn't much different either. I'm 4 months along, it's just that France is 7 months, guys, don't get confused. If a mother is 7 months pregnant, does she have 3 months left until birth?
It's because I entered the 7th month, so you spend almost 4 weeks in that month. Yeah, you spend 4 weeks in the 7th month of the 3rd trimester.
Can you hear this rain? Wow, the weather's going to be rough today. Rain, cold, I paid for parking there, 10 euros, and now let's go. Let's try to get a cell phone plan for my wife.
There are even those travel internet SIM cards, but they end up being much more expensive than the local SIM cards, and they are too. They have limited internet, but they only share 1 gigabyte per day for the computers and the phones, so with just a few gigabytes per day we can't work. Also, we didn't bring the Starlink because the antenna is very heavy, very big. There was no way we could bring it, so the Starlink stayed there. In Brazil, actually, we're going to sell it. We're not going to keep it, and that's it. Let's go see if this cell phone plan is going to work, and if by any chance
we go back to Starlink, we'll buy a new one here, because the new model is already out. Much smaller, right? Much more practical to carry.
the chance of getting a parking spot for the car would be, the car has, maybe you can drop me off here. We don't have any way to communicate with each other.
We managed to park. Franza is going over there. And look who got nervous.
Nervous there. Mrs. Layla got nervous.
It's my cell phone. I already have a travel SIM card, right? But it's really expensive. 50 euros for 20 days. So, viajo porque preciso. She's going to try to get a cell phone plan for herself. Then later, in the next few days, I'll do it or I'll use hers. Let's see how it works out.
We just went to a cell phone store to get the plan, but it didn't work out there. Because they only work with physical SIM cards, and since my phone was bought in the United States, it doesn't have the option for a physical SIM, only a eSIM. So now we have to go to another store in another mall to try to get it done. But honestly, if we don't get this done, we won't be able to work, and that just won't work out, right?
Guys, I don't think this will work out.
I'm going to take another lap here, but I think there's no way to park.
There won't be time. We're right on schedule, actually over.
And the parking lot has a height limit of 1.85 meters.
Just no, there's no way inside.
Why didn't buying the France SIM card for the phone work out?
We hit the road because the weather here in Lisbon is really rainy. It's not good for sightseeing, so we're hitting the road and I'll tell you guys where we're going.
We're going to come back here to Lisbon too, to return the motorhome later. So don't worry, we know we haven't even done a third of what the city has to offer, but that's because we're coming back. We're passing through Alverga. We decided to go through the towns instead of taking the highway. One reason is because of the tolls, which would be around 9 or 10 euros. And so we can learn about the places along the way.
Our first stop to refuel here in Portugal is, for now...
It's a gas station requiring prepayment. So Du went there to see exactly how it works.
But from what we gathered, you need to go inside.
Swipe the card so they can unlock the pump. But we've also seen that some gas stations have attendants working too. So we're figuring it out, guys. We're discovering things. We're learning one day at a time. Du is coming back. One sec, he stayed inside.
I used all my charm, she said. No, you can go fill up. I'll unlock the pump for you. Oh.
I used all my charm. Did you see if there was a bathroom?
Hey, charming guy, was I supposed to check that?
I was supposed to ask you. He got all giddy because the girl authorized the pump for him that he didn't even look at what I asked for.
Guys, look at this. The lady at the register was really kind. I explained to her, look, it's my first time fueling up and all, and I saw that you have to pay first, but I don't know how much fuel will go in. I wanted to fill up the tank. She said, go ahead, I'll turn on the pump for you and you can pay me afterwards. That's what we usually do in Brazil, right? But in some countries it's a little different. And by the way, here I fueled up by myself. I've seen gas stations that have attendants. So diesel 0.82 S10 diesel, right? 1.82 per liter. It was 51 liters, 94 euros and 57 cents. We already knew that fuel here in Portugal isn't very cheap, but I think it might even be one of the cheapest in Europe. Fuel in Europe is generally expensive. And we already knew that. But we're going to drive a lot with this fuel here, unlike in Brazil, for example, right? Which is a very big country, but here it's a really small country, so the distances are much shorter. So that works in favor of the fuel cost.
Now viajo porque preciso.
I didn't say where we're going. We're going to Nazaré because there's a forecast for giant waves. There are giant waves today, but we'll only get there in the afternoon, so we have to go there tomorrow morning.
To see giant waves, yes.
It's our dream to see this up close, and it's going to come true in our first week here in Portugal. Really cool.
And this is the N1 highway.
And we're going to Nazaré. It's one of the main regions for really cool surfing.
So the N1 highway actually goes through the cities. The downside is that the trip gets slower, but you don't have to pay tolls, and we get to know the region.
Let's go. We're arriving in Nazaré. There's a special reason we're arriving here in Nazaré, right, Du?
I've already said it, but I'll repeat it. Forecast of giant waves in the coming days. Yeah, guys.
Those huge waves we see on TV, the surfers risking their lives here in Nazaré, right? They really are giant waves. Just so you have an idea, the forecast is for 30-meter high waves starting tomorrow, and I just
won't catch one. Also because I chose not to get the surfboard option for the motorhome, since the surfboard is an optional extra. Otherwise, man, if I had known before, I would have taken it.
Even though I really admire the sport, and of course we're not surfers. But yes, one of the things I wanted to do here in Portugal was to see these famous waves of Nazaré.
And look how cool the market has parking for motorhomes. Autocaravana is just the word for motorhome. Look, first time in my life, huh? And we've traveled a lot, huh?
Never.
I had never stopped at a market that had caravan parking. I loved it, Du.
Can you heat up some water and make us some coffee?
Yes, ma'am.
I got out of the car, it was light. When I got back, it was dark. I took a long time here shopping, and I really did take a while because I got food for the whole week. There are things that, will last the whole week, but there are things that will be left over because, my God, right? Olive oil is really cheap.
Here, olive oil is basically free.
It's really cheap. It's like 750 milliliters, which is the big one, and it's real extra virgin. 100% Portuguese, it was on sale for 5.49. But it's big.
€5, right, guys? Now we're in a bit of a hurry because we have to go to the parking lot and it closes at 6 p.m.
And we didn't know that.
And now it's 5:40, so we have to hurry, but it's close by. We're here in Nazaré, and I think the only place for us to stay is over there. If we can't get there in time, then I don't know where we're going to go.
Take the first exit to Rua 25 de Abril, and then 146.
Are you serious? We're sleeping by the sea?
Didn't you want to see the waves? No.
No, but I don't want to stay this close. I'm sleeping and the sea is right down there. My God, what a rough sea. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Guys, if tomorrow morning there are going to be giant waves, what is this that's happening right now?
Imagine a place full of motorhomes. Here we are really close to the lighthouse, and tomorrow we'll be able to watch the giant waves up close, behind.
From this car?
It feels like I'm also saying, welcome, welcome. God help me with my labyrinthitis tonight. Lower in the back.
I regret telling Duke it was my dream to see these giant waves. I'm regretting it, guys. Tomorrow I'll just be scared.
It'll only be tomorrow morning.
Man, I've never seen the sea this rough before, seriously. And then the weather, you know? Fog, rain. Wow, it really gives you that scary vibe. You just have to hope not to.
You just have to hope it doesn't rain tomorrow morning, and the forecast isn't calling for rain, at least for now.
Yeah, and hope there isn't any fog either, so we can see, because the waves, I think the waves form more in the middle of the sea.
Yeah, we go all the way to the lighthouse at the tip.
Up there.
We're going up and back down. It's about 500 meters away. We have a hike for tomorrow, a sunrise workout.
Yeah, I think we won't be able to sleep either, with the car shaking so much and the fridge beeping.
This fridge is very comfortable.
Oh, guys.
Look, when you hear a loud noise, it's the wind, okay? There's a lot of wind. To get giant waves, you need wind, you need rough seas, right? That's how it has to be, right?
And we haven't talked about the costs of this motorhome here, about how much it's going to cost per day.
There are a lot of variables involved, so that's the first thing you need to understand. Right now, it's low season. The Indie Campers Indie Camp lot was just packed, right, Fred?
Yeah, and you really have to do your research to try to find the best option, you know? Something more affordable. This one, with all the insurance included, and we got the minimum mileage, which is 1,200 kilometers.
Which is 75 kilometers per day.
We got it for 16 nights, and it averaged 70 euros per night.
That's right.
Converting, that's about 450 reais, which is basically what a hotel night costs here in Portugal. So if you consider that you still have to rent a car, then you'll have to spend on restaurants and everything else and keep doing check-in and check-out, we'd really go with the motorhome.
Mainly for that reason. We have a lot of luggage, we have 6 suitcases. So checking in and checking out is a hassle. And the other reason I think this is the main one is Layla. Then you have to find a hotel that's pet-friendly, which causes a lot of inconvenience. You always have to go downstairs with Layla so she can do her business. And when we're here, like this, in the motorhome, everything is much simpler. But especially having to do check-in and check-out with suitcases, it's pretty complicated.
And the pet fee costs from 15 to 20 euros per day, just adding to our expenses. There are also other, more affordable models, the smaller ones.
There are smaller models, and with this model here too, you can really upgrade a lot, you know?
For example, if you want a camping kit, which is a little table and chair, it's 29.90.
We don't know the exact prices.
The grill, I remember because I wanted a grill, 39.90, I mean 40 euros to rent a grill. Buy one, a grill. I bought one, right? Yeah, I buy one, so it's very expensive. Another thing.
And another thing is the mileage, which is really important to them.
For example, for us to increase the mileage from 75 kilometers per day to 120, it was already 33 euros more per day, so it went up a lot.
200 reais per day, but that's just an average, right? So it doesn't mean we can't drive more.
Today?
120 kilometers, for example, but tomorrow I'll have to drive less, right? So that in the end, when I return the motorhome, it's at most 1,200 kilometers. If I drive more, it's 75 euro cents, right, per kilometer driven. And I also wanted to have the experience with this slightly bigger motorhome, which is actually on our wish list here, to buy one of this size exactly. Dudu wanted to go back to the compact one, the 4x4, but honestly, with a dog and a child, you have to be realistic.
No, I know, no, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the size. It's a lot trickier to drive.
But yeah, it's actually pretty chill, you know?
No, driving on the road is normal, but like here, you need help to get through the gate over there. Because it's really long, and the back of it is really wide. So when you turn, the back swings out a lot, and the rear swings way out to the side. So you have to be really careful, especially not to hit anyone, right? Imagine this thing hitting someone. That's really complicated. It's a hassle.
Right?
That's it, yeah.
And we also chose the basic insurance, right? It covers the car, it covers third parties in case of an accident, but the deductible is 2,000 euros. If you pay another 35 per day, so 35 euros per day, then you're exempt from that deductible of up to 2,000 euros. It's not that it will be 2,000 euros, it's up to 2,000 euros.
So for this deductible, you have to swipe your card there and leave a 2,000 euro deposit. So it's a pretty considerable amount.
Exactly, so these are things to consider.
That's it. Viajo porque preciso.
That
I could even show it to everyone. Good morning. Look, I wanted to start by showing this little blanket here because Layla didn't have a bed or a blanket. Now she has both because she loves these little blankets.
Look how cute.
Look, it's full of little hearts.
It was 5 euros, guys.
Wow, but it's big.
Yeah, but it's really thin.
Right, that's it? Then you fold it well.
Then we fold it like this on the bed and it gets softer.
Softer and warmer because last night she was cold.
Correct, otherwise she always sleeps with us, which isn't possible. These little toasts, if I'm correct, were about 99 cents. This one was a little bit more.
Uh-huh, what is that?
It's for the bathroom.
Bomar, okay.
This one is the olive oil that was on sale.
This is messed up. It's obscene, the size of it.
Look, it's the size of a palm. You can see it's wider. It's a really big package. How much was it? This one was 5.49.
It was on sale.
750 ml. Here you have 60 trash bags for 1 euro and 25 cents as far as I remember. This one was 99 euro cents. It's called abrasive cleaner, but it's our disinfectant. I also bought this bread here. It's home-style sliced bread. It was 2 euros. And the interesting thing is that you slice it right then and there and at the thickness you want.
Slice. I already saw the little machine there. We'll have to film the little machine.
Me to help myself. I bought these disposable gloves so you can handle the disposal, right?
Like 99 cents?
It comes with 10 pieces. I don't remember the lentils, but they were also just a few cents. When I say cents, I mean euro cents, okay? This one was 4 euros. It comes with 4 soaps.
1 euro each from Dove Dolby.
I bought sunscreen. It was 13.99.
That's cheap, since sunscreen is expensive in Brazil.
I'm not sure how much it was, but it was under €1 too. I don't remember.
You can look it up here.
I bought lip gloss. This one was 1.29. Guys, lip gloss 1.29. I'm even checking it's vegan. But I only bought it because of the price, since it looks pretty natural. Then I got the Portuguese custard tart for coffee. For the afternoon coffee, which is already going to be...
It's already going to be dinner.
Tem mais uma sacola enorme.
There's a big bag here, and what caught my attention, which isn't here, it's lying by the door, is the water. A 6-liter bottle of water, only 84 cents. I thought it was really cheap. And that's how it is, right?
We're still learning what's cheaper.
We're learning markets.
We had to announce.
We still don't know. It's the second time we're at the market. How much does a dozen eggs cost, Amar?
Yeah, eggs aren't cheap here. It's 2 euros. It's 2.29 euros, something like that. But in general, things like animal products, fruits...
Those things, they're not very cheap.
You know? Bananas then, guys, are expensive here in Portugal. At least so far, we haven't found them cheap. This one is the Madeira banana.
From Madeira Island.
From Madeira Island, there are only 5 bananas and it was 2 euros. The mushrooms, look how many there are here. I bought them to make risotto anyway. It was 2 euros. I thought it was cheap too. The strawberries were a little over €3.
Wow, those are some beautiful strawberries, man. Yeah.
Some things are really expensive, which doesn't make sense, and some things are really cheap, so we also have to learn.
We just need to see if it's from Brazil. That's all, babe.
To filter, right? This was also just a few cents. The carrot already comes shredded like this, you know? I remember the milk was €1.
It's Euro.
I already
Bought it when it was 1.
I used the lactose-free one, though it's a bit pricier.
It's a little more expensive.
This one was €2, look. 4 yogurts from Danone, just like we have here in Brazil. This one is the zero added one.
Speaking of prices, guys, stay tuned because there will be a video soon about the cost comparison between Brazil and Portugal.
And a little steak.
Here we have 326 grams of meat, 550, 5.50. It's really good meat, right, guys? You can see it here, look.
Pure meat, clean.
But it's 16.90, 16.99 euros.
17 euros per kilo. And it's Portuguese. There's a label here saying it's Portuguese.
There weren't many meat options at that market we went to either. I believe we'll find places where meat is cheaper. And there were also cuts of meat that I don't know yet.
Yeah, there was a butcher working there, right? I went there and yeah.
This is just for us to have for 1 or 2 lunches, which is already enough.
2? Just lunch?
Ha ha ha, not much of a meat eater. And that's it. I believe we can get through the week with this food and maybe even have some left over. Okay? For example, we're not going to eat a whole kilo of rice in a week, right? Just the 2 of us. But we might have to get some more meat at the store.
Some chicken, something like that.
But I bought some to make carbonara and for lunch. So 2 lunches with protein, let's say.
In short, 75 euros and 35 cents.
Yeah, but it's actually quite a lot.
And you saved 9 euros and 77 cents?
And you can also get the store card because I saw that there are more discounts. But since we don't have an address yet and all that, we ended up not getting it.
We'll do it soon.
Yeah, from what we've noticed, like there will be things that are cheap at one store and cheap at another, so we'll have to compare. So, in general, we need to learn which items are better to buy at each store. So we can really save money and take advantage of the better prices here in Portugal.
From what I've seen, we'll need to walk more, right? Because fuel was expensive. That's the reality. We already knew it. It's not just Portugal, it's all over Europe.
The good thing is public transportation works here too.
Right? Exactly.
That's why fuel is also expensive, actually. Anyway, guys, it's all about adapting. Maybe at first everything feels a bit different for us. We were already really used to the United States, but it's a new culture, a new cost of living.
We had already gotten used to Brazil again, right? We had been there for such a long time. So now we need to adapt again.
I even think that, like, in Brazil, what we buy here costs about the same, you know. But of course, converting, right? But obviously, if you compare the amounts directly, 75 euros and 75 reais, with 75 reais, you can't buy anything at the market anymore. And another thing is that the minimum wage here is over 800 euros. I'm not exactly sure of the amount. So with 800 euros, you can buy a lot of things at the market. And back in Brazil, with the minimum wage, we already know what the grocery situation is like, right? So anyway, everything has its good and bad sides. We're learning as we go.
That's it. Shall we put this away then?
Let's go.
Shall we say goodbye to everyone?
That works, right?
I think so. And then, in the next episode, you'll see the giant waves. Among other things, because that's not all there's going to be.
Everything that happens here in our daily lives, behind the scenes, you get to follow from home. We were already missing you. God bless you and see you in the next video.
Thanks everyone, bye bye.